Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons advice video. This is everybody needs a refresher course. Many players and dungeon masters alike are under many misconceptions about the basic rules of the game. For example, many gamers think that -10, -10 is the best armor class possible, and that just isn't so. On page 73 of the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master's Guide, the very last block of text in the lower right-hand corner tells us how to calculate armor classes better than -10. -10 is just as far down as the charts go. It is theoretically possible to have an armor class of -15 or even lower. Theoretically. It ain't easy, but you can do it. Another thing is the armor and weapons permitted charts. Just because a particular class cannot gain proficiency in a specific weapon doesn't mean that that character cannot pick one up and use it in a pinch. Check out my video, The Barbarian Wizard. I'm not going to get into the rules I use or house rules I've heard of. Just a good, thorough reading of the rules in the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons books will show you all manner of loopholes and exceptions. Many gamers simply don't read all of the particular section. They assume the rest, or they simply look at the charts and assume that's all there is to it. I guess the moral of this video is that gamers who assume make an ass of themselves. Or, more accurately, they fail to maximize their understanding of the game. The only real advice to give anyone who wants to become an expert on the game is to read. Read every book cover to cover, and then do it again. And then again. And don't ever stop. Okay. To these older gamers who've been around the block a few times, like me, it really doesn't hurt to read through the books again. I found that when I go back and read the books, I rediscover things I'd long forgotten. Or sometimes I find things I've been doing wrong. One of the annoying things is when you find things you've been doing wrong because you got in the habit of doing things the way another dungeon master does them. That happens a lot. And everybody's guilty of this. Everybody is guilty of this. I was running in a guy's game one time, and he had, I forget what it was exactly, but he had a rule that he was using, and I liked it, so I started using it in my campaign. And I found out that years later, I found out that it was a homemade rule for a specific campaign. It wasn't actually in the books. And I felt kind of stupid because I was telling people, yeah, that's right there. This is how you do it, you know. And everybody makes these mistakes. You run under a bunch of different dungeon masters with a bunch of different players. You're going to get a myriad variety of different takes on rules. The best cure for this is simply go and read the books. I cannot stress that enough. People don't read anymore. Trust me, I'm an author. I've got books out on Amazon. I think they're pretty good books, but nobody's reading. So, you know. And side note, it wouldn't hurt to start a book club in your local area. Get some friends together, friends of friends. Everybody read the book and discuss it once a week or once a month or whatever. That's always a good thing. Reading is fundamental. I know that sounds stupid, corny, but it is. Getting back to this video, a refresher course is not a bad idea for any gamer playing the game or running one. You would be surprised how much you've forgotten or how much you never really knew. I highly recommend it. Anybody who has not read through the books doesn't need to be running games. Anybody who is running games needs to read through the books again. That's all I'm saying. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all. Clarissa Lowe, a historian from the future. Delmore Kane, a Civil War veteran turned outlaw. This oddball pairing faces a conspiracy of epic proportions spanning the centuries. If you like action and adventure westerns with a splash of science fiction and fantasy, check out my book series Drifters and their ongoing adventures.